Alright, hello everyone. Here we are back for another Golf Clash tutorial for Sakura Hills, hole number 1. And the way that I do this hole kind of varies from situation to situation. First, let me just try to figure out, with tailwind situation, I'm going to go plus 10% with an overpower drive, so right around 4 rings. Also keep in mind that I'm going to basically aim 5 rings over from the rough. So I'm going to just, that's 5 rings. And then I'm just going to stack 1 full target on top of this. So right around here, you're also going to see me, bend this as hard as I can with the club. And, back off the power kind of right in here. Make sure that I don't go too long. But I'll probably use a slice shot more times than not. And it's usually with about stacking 1 full bullseye on top of another, and you can see that it's just going to let me get down here farther than I would have had to been able to otherwise. So it'll really get me hopefully to short iron territory when I'm able to do that. And just keep in mind that when you're doing that method, the direction the wind's pointed, you can see if it's down, you have to worry about that bunker. So you do want to worry about keeping it outside. What my opponent's doing here is kind of going left of the bunker. It usually can, not be as good of a shot. You might end up in the rough when you do this. And it looks like there it is going to hold on. Not bad overall. But as I mentioned, you can wind up in the rough going about playing it to the left of that bunker. So do be careful doing that. And here what I'm going to do, this is usually a downhill elevation shot. I'm going to use plus 10%, little overcorrection technique, plus a little bit extra. And here's min, there's max. I'm going to look maybe about 70% or so. So 2.7 per ring is going to be about what I'm going to use. And just kind of put this right in front of the hole, kind of right there. And as I mentioned, 2.7 rings, just straighten up that line. Perfect ball. Looks like I just went too much. So very, very tight there. Fraction of an inch from getting that one to drop there. But you can see with the little bit of overcorrection, it's going to help you, especially shooting down to a lower elevation. I do believe I was kind of splitting the difference there, about plus 5% for the overcorrection, plus 5% shooting down to a lower target. Keep in mind that it wasn't at max club. That might be, part of the reason that I'm only going maybe 5% as opposed to 10% for this down. The more you're towards max club, you might, need to overplay that much more. An extra 5 or 10%, for instance. But there you have it. Very straightforward approach to this hole. Gives you a very good makeable chance. Just be sure to, get those hooks dialed in. As I mentioned, you could see what I was doing with playing the wind. At the very first, I told you it was going to be about a 4 ring for the wind. So I played 5 rings from the edge, and then I just stacked 1 full bullseye on top of wherever my aim was. So it's very minimal movement, the way that I was going about doing that. So Thor's hammer is very easy to play hooks for. It's a very controlled club. It has a much smaller range than clubs that like Apocalypse as to how many rings you can go. But I'm going to split this up, and I'll catch you guys on the second part here coming up.